Nah, ini jangan paling. Ini mana? Terus yang mau kita lakukan? Oh, नमस्कार, नमस्कार सर, खालिद सर।
Namaskar, just 6:30.
हाँ,
No earlier.
गुड इवनिंग सर।
Good evening, but we will start just at 6:30 to maintain the everything discipline. We have another 6 minutes to go.
ओके ओके ओके।
Let the participants to join
हाँ हाँ
because তারা তো wait করবে যে timing exact time because they are today is working day, right? Oh, not half holiday. Anyway, yeah.
आज हम लोग का सेकेंड डे का जो थर्ड जो क्लासेस है वो डॉक्टर मोहम्मद अली खालिद ढाका यूनिवर्सिटी से है, बांग्लादेश। सर ने जो टॉपिक लिया है प्लानिंग फॉर reopening school for children with disabilities in the present situation.
Okay, good. Thank you.
हम लोग को तोराइडवार्स कॉलेज और सपना सोसाइटी से सर को वेलकम। सर काफी टाइम से हम लोग के साथ जुड़ा भी है। आप लोग इनका पहले कोई सीआरई किया है तो देखा है, बांग्लादेश से सर बहुत एक्टिव है। हम लोग का साथ जो टाइम में मैं सर का साथ बात करता हूँ उसी टाइम सर रिप्लाई दे देता है, और सर सब एनी टाइम मेरा साथ एनी डिस्कस सर मेरा हेल्प करता है हम लोग को सपना सोसाइटी को। थैंक यू सर, हम लोग को सपना सोसाइटी का साथ आपको जुड़ने के लिए। ठीक है सर,
ठीक है। Anyway, so I'm Dr. Khalid and have been practicing in psychological aspects and other professional fields since 1975. Then I did my PhD in clinical psychology from USA, and during the lockdown period, I have conducted more than 100 webinars. So as a speaker, as a chief guest, as a presenter, whatever the things I did. So it's my great pleasure to have with you all. Sorry. So I have been working this society. This might be the 4th session I'm doing. So it's a great opportunity for me also to have with you all, to have opportunity. तो हम बहुत खुश है कि आप लोग के साथ एक डिसेबिलिटी प्रोग्राम में I am just as a speaker and participating. So even if you get a single benefit, that is benefit to the society, to the community across the gradually it will span to across the world, because different parts of India, Bangladesh and Nepal and other US, we are all here to conduct or to deliver our speech in this regard, which is very important nowadays. We cannot differentiate disability and ability. So they need more support. That is the thing. Depends on the circumstance. Uska nature of the physical, mental, in consideration of all these things, we have to take, caregiver has to take more attention. That's the thing. So, I'm very thankful to the RCI authority and Mr. Burman, Tapos Burman and his team. Very much what I say is a very much potential in this regard. They try their level best to conduct. Every time, whenever Mr. Tapos call me, I attend and pick up then and there. Whenever wherever I reside or I stay. Because I know he always speaks every day. A few days back, I told him, why you are not talking? मेरा साथ बात नहीं करता. बोला जे, sir, I lost my mobile. So बोला, just purchase the mobile immediately and make it okay. Do it nicely. So we can interact with each other because I try. This is the very, I'm proud of this to be a part of this program. Very frankly speaking, though just 1 hour before I return from somewhere, and I don't mind, but it is my prime objective to conduct these sessions as a speaker. So today I will share my screen and gradually, sorry to interrupt. So gradually I deliver very in a simplest way, very simple से हम बात करेगा. आप लोग कोई टाइम में हिंदी में बोलने से भी I'll try. कुछ हिंदी तपन से अच्छा होता है. तपन तो हिंदी बांग्ला सब मिक्स कर देता है. उससे भी अच्छा हम बोलेगा हिंदी. I'm confident. So anyway, just making fun with you because don't be serious. Be enjoy with my program to learn more and more because you are all honored participants. You are the professors, you are the teachers, you are the professionals, you are the parents. So all are very, very important to me and you are honored. So I'm very much honored that I have the privilege to deliver my what I say, deliver my speech or presentations. Okay, I'll share now. Thank you for all of you to join with my program. Thanks. আমি অত্যন্ত গর্বিত এবং আনন্দিত আপনাদের সাথে জয়েন করতে পেরে যে এত সুন্দর একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট ফর দ্য কমিউনিটি ডেভেলপমেন্ট ফর দ্য ডিসেবিলিটিস আমি অত্যন্ত গর্বিত সেজন্য এই প্রোগ্রামটা আমি যত কিছুই হোক আমি চলে আসি এবং আমি থাকতে চেষ্টা করি এবং চেষ্টা করি I try my level best to provide support in terms of speakers, in terms of other potential people to join. So, okay, ধন্যবাদ, thank you. Hello, hello, can you hear me? Does somebody responds to me? Hello, hello,
হ্যালো হ্যালো স্যার
শোনা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
স্ক্রিন দেখা যাচ্ছে?
দেখা যাচ্ছে স্যার
That's fine. না দেখা গেলে
হ্যাঁ।
আমাকে একটু রেসপন্স করেন. Okay, okay.
হ্যাঁ।
Now I'll share my presentation, and if you have to ask कोनो কিছু জিজ্ঞেস করতে হলে कोई कुछ पूछना चाहिए तो हमको बाद में सेशन होगा 5-7 minutes hoga, just you ask me or chat me. So I prefer to not chat because it's difficult sometimes to open on this, better interact with me directly. I try to give you all answers most appropriately. So today I discuss planning for reopening schools for children with disabilities in the present situation. What is the mean of present situation? With COVID condition. Just we have opened or this is being opened. It is going to be open or it is open few days back, like this. So how to cope up the situation of COVID, especially for the disability. Disability, I mean, দুটাই বলবো English, Hindi and sorry. Disabilities কে cope করতে হলে এই সিচুয়েশনে স্কুল ওপেনের পরে what to do, because it's still the Omicron or Corona, whatever the COVID, not person recovered, but gradually we are all in, everything is now open. Everything is open and going to be open, so we have started our normal function. In this case, what about the disabilities? How they will cope up this situation? So I'll explain very as well, so you can. Okay, critical dimension is school reopening and recovery. Critical dimension. So after reopening of the school in this current situation, you can see someone, they might not be disabled, but same treatment will be made for each and every student. Each and every student, especially disabilities also, you have to demonstrate school reopening and recovery. So you have to apply the hand sanitizer, just starting, just enter wherever they will enter, main gate of the school. It might be two gates, so you have to hand sanitize very nicely. Okay, and there you have to use also mask is compulsory. So surgical mask is better, sometimes not in that way. The student that's showing just a straight way mask. If you feel that his area is so vulnerable, then you can use two. So I think almost are not vulnerable now, gradually 3%, 4% or like that. So that should be number one. Now, the critical dimension is school reopening, engaging communities in reopening plan. So think that every school there is a community. So they are the community people are the most important. You take the suggestion with the community people, you take the suggestion of parents, you take the suggestions from a teacher, take the suggestion from the resource person, professionals, businessman, entrepreneurs, what I think. They are the community. So engage community in reopening plan. So so I think your school is, if I say particular for Alipurduar, your school, then I will mention you are also already open. So take this precautions. It does not mean open means it is over. You have to take the precautions. Mask and second is hand sanitizer. It's a compulsory, not something is mixed in the hand sanitizer, not that pure hand sanitizer, safety. And mask also either surgical or maybe surgical is better nowadays as per doctor's recommendation. Targeting resources to where they are most needed. Targeting resources to where they are most needed. You have to target the resource people to where they are most needed. Which area, which place, which site that is needed means you have to take suggestions from them. Getting children back to school. Okay, this is normal. They already started the school. Making school environment safe. This is very one word, but this is very, very important. How to make them safe. Make it environment safe. So you have to sanitize bench, chair, table. There are all these things before entering the school. It might be a costly, so you need to get help from the community. Even one taka will, just a moment, some important telephone. One moment, please. Hello? নসওয়াত, কোনো আর্জেন্ট? আমি একটু পরে করি। নসওয়াত সাহেব, আমি একটু পরে করি, আমি একটা বিদেশের সাথে কাজ করছি, আমি একটু পরে করি। Targeting resources to where they are most needed. Okay, getting children back to school, before getting back to school, or they are already having their school, you have to take all the, before entering, you have to sanitize, clean, Dettol, sanitizer, Savlon, other all things available in the locality. Just purchase and do it. And take the help from the resource person, take the help from the professionals, take the help from businessmen, whoever. Recovery learning loss and building back better. Learning loss. Almost, I think, 2 years, about 2 years or 3 years, all the students with disabilities, they couldn't manage their study. They couldn't manage that space. They couldn't manage for disability school. So they are behind the education. They are behind the learning loss. So we have to think in our mind, especially for I'm talking about the disabilities, we have to think in our mind how to gradually improve this. How to gradually improve, not pressure, very comfortably and conveniently. Always think, take them as our own child, treat them as our own daughter, as our own brother, as our own son. I know, I don't want to say a negative way. I know you people are taking much care, but it does not mean that is done. It is a continual process. It's a continual process. If we have the problem, even if we have some problem at home, but we cannot express this one to that disability. Disabilities is different type, so depend on this nature, depend on the circumstances, you treat in that way. Don't differentiate. They need much care, and normal, they don't need care too much. But disabled, we have to take care more. There is the two things, nothing, but they will be treated in the same level. Crisis recovery strategies in place. All countries have crisis recovery strategies. How to recover the crisis. All countries across the world in place. The following may be useful reminder. This may be the useful reminder. That is, remind us. What are those things? Plan for reopening of a school. 3 key elements as part of the preparation. 3 key elements. So we will say we have already opened. No problem. You adapt all these things. We have to adapt. If we opened already, so we have continual adaptation, acceptability like this. What are those key elements? Preparation. So already opened. So financial flow, infrastructure, and human resources. Infrastructure, I think maybe some disrupted, or maybe 2 years school was closed, so we have to renovate that one gradually. It's very financial impact on this issue, but take it gradually. Improvement is a continuous process. Human resources, we have to recruit the appropriate people. Human resource. So you have to resource the people. You have to recruit the real people to teach the students to take care of the disabilities as a caregiver. finance. What is this? Readjust national budget for education in the light of the finding. Okay. So it might be difficult for all the schools or for the school authority to collect. But anyway, readjust means national budget. It's might be different, but you have to discuss with the community heads. You have to create a community committee. So they will advise you. I think have the school you have already. But anyway, don't lose this one. Continuous their suggestions, advice that will give you some sort of, you see, in maybe 2005, I was in a school, I was in a organization NGO. They have started, that is mostly women empowerment. I had, they have recruited, I was there as a director, and in addition, I have the responsibility as a chairman of the cooperative society. All the women, they sell, they build they produce snacks, tea, coffee, rice, vegetable, milk. So that is also one sort of earning. So I have no idea because I have not visited, I have not seen any school. If there is a little scope, do it. There are also disabilities school or mentally, what are they are producing one shop they're selling. And their product is very, very good, excellent, because they are very sincere, they are honest, sincere, hardworking. So not everybody can involve, few. So it is you who will select who is capable, who is a bit better than the other, not autistic, not this. So we adjust national budget maybe as you are doing from RCI authority, you are helping you. Make sure teachers and non-teaching personnel are paid. All schools have an operation. Okay. So sometimes we think teachers there maybe 50%, 60%. That was the situation during COVID, but it is already open where the schools are totally closed, no earning, no no way to earn money. Parents, teachers, school, everywhere suffer in that about if possible. But don't cut the teacher's salary, don't cut the and the staffs as well. That will give you the negative impact, or they are also, they need to serve. If I cannot serve, if I cannot live in nicely, how can I teach the students? So at least requisite, maybe minimum, but that is a requisite. Implement measures to help with the financial burden of families. Measures to help with the financial burden on families. Somebody is suffering with they have two autistic children, but they cannot provide the school fees. They are not getting the food on time. They are in a very critical condition. If possible, help them to come, make them free, make their parents to live at least minimum life standard. So this is also very important. Crisis recovery strategy, same thing. Infrastructure, what has this been? I was talking about the finance. Now I'm talking about the infrastructure. Discuss with the health authorities the safe of school buildings and their surroundings before opening a boost the confidence of parents, students, teachers in terms of school safety. I have no idea, but definitely you have to approach to the local government, local government authority, at least discuss and make them a visit to a school, because there is I think there might be disability they take care, there might be health directorate or health office or something like that. So you have to discuss the health authorities, especially safety school buildings and the surroundings, that we are already open. Please help in this regard for the school safety, because alone or funding cannot be possible without the government help. Okay. Crisis recovery strategy, same thing. Crisis recovery strategies. How to recover? What are the strategies? What are the strategies to be adopted to reopen or the opening school during these situations? Ensure community trust in the health and safety measures. So the school authority people have to create their confidence upon the parents, school to guarantee the well-being of returning school and to ensure that the risk of contagion is minimized. The parents should be well aware that the school are safe now. They are taking much care for the in terms of COVID. So it is an additional expenditure for the schools. So that contagion is minimized. Should be risks must be minimized as much as possible. Renovate, improve, or install as necessary hygiene facilities like washroom, toilets, bathrooms. Guarantee that hand washing stations will be available and provide running water as well as, for example, soap and disposable hand towels. So this is very simple thing. I think you have already adapted the school. The school already adapted, but I remind you, this is very important. We cannot treat this as a very simple. This is a monthly basis, some budget will be provided, should be there to make this available. Okay, guys, okay, same thing. Human resources. What is human resources? Plan for teacher mobilization, prioritizing regions. Mobilization and prioritizing regions. Train teachers to monitor children and identify those experiencing particular difficulties when they're back in school. Train teachers to monitor children and identify those experiencing particular difficulties when they're back to school. When they are back to school, when they return to school, back to school, some special needs children need to be cared by the trained teachers. Begin structured education activities as soon as it is safe to do in order to mitigate the psychological impact to crisis children, youth, and young adults. Structure education, I think we had for the different classes, for the different disability students, psychosocial impact of the crisis on children. They have a psychosocial, socially, they were socially not that much, socially not that impact. Psychosocial impact of crisis of children. They are not, cannot mix openly. Psychologically, psychosocial means সামাজিকভাবে psychosocial সামাজিকভাবে মনস্তাত্ত্বিক ওয়েতে impact childrenদের youth and young adultদের টেক কেয়ার করতে হবে children, youth and young adult. Community consult and coordinate. Communicate widely and transparently with all education stakeholders. As a parent may be reluctant to send their children to school after the crisis. So the school authority, school teacher, school management committee, management committee has to create parents reluctant. They're free, no problem. We can send our child now. The school is safe. The school after no problem. So this is the communities widely and transparently with all education, teachers, parents. Review and assess the learning needs of students. learning needs to consider adopting a flexible learning approach. Flexible learning approach should be flexible, no rigid. You have to read this one, you have to sit in the exam, or you have to read. No, but a flexible, dependent. You know, the disability means lot of type of disability. So you cannot impose anything. That talk therapy also might be talk therapy, gossiping, storytelling, sometimes very so what is it? Logo, different types of art, all this might be effective for the learner. At the school and exam calendar to make it account with teaching time. So, you know, during this period, all schools, they have given 2 days compulsory holiday, then some flexible of calendar, flexible of routine or book or exam. All these are flexible. So you have to do also that because gradually they improve because due to long gap, longer, somebody will not be interested to attend school, especially disabled, even able. So they must get the interested things at school. They must be inspired by the teachers, guardians. Guardians they try, but the teachers, management staff, professionals, whatever the things in the school. Consider shorting the academic. Okay, I told you academic and others. Very flexible, very simple, gradually, very gradually. Start planning for accelerated learning strategy. Development policies, programs, making fund available for them, and guaranteeing that human and technical resources are available. All these are gradually. I think school cannot do right way. So at least student teachers can inspire or management staff can inspire the students to make the syllabus shorten. They make them more flexible study, gossiping, storytelling, interaction with the inspiring, motivating. These are the most important. All psychological aspects should be introduced. After school study classes are the mandatory aspects so that students can catch up the core subject. This is actually depend. I think we have to wait for few months more to be new normal. Still just, I think I have no idea about your school when it was open, but I think it was not earlier. So maybe 1, 2 months or something. So we have to have wait. We have to wait for few months more to adjust students or disabled students to adjust with the environment as they did earlier. Wearing mask by students, teachers, hand washing with soap and water, clean toilets, classroom benches, desks, sanitize daily, social distance in classroom with attendance in shift or alternate days classes. Because actually, your school, you might have teachers in different categories. But now during COVID, with the situation, the students should be adapted, should be acquainted with the environment is the COVID preventive measures. Their parents should understand, parents should be very much confident that our students are safe as you maintained earlier before COVID. So this is a very, so because the disabilities are mentally retarded, now we don't mentally, intellectually disabled, whatever the disabilities are, if I say total. So COVID situation, COVID is the problem because they have no idea, they just touch their nose, they will touch their, so gradually make them environment. It's a very new environment to come with this situation. So teachers, management staff should take care much than the before. See, it's not easy preparing a 2-year recovery plan for learning loss. Rome was not built in a day. Very just habituated with the school in the new normal, that is the big issue. Big issue. Gradually, I told you earlier, so parents and teachers also, professionals, management, I recommend you to take care very slowly. 2-year recovery plan for learning loss. So just make them habituated, make them habit to attend the school. Brief syllabus, okay, 2 years, we reduce time and motor. So what you will do? Just hello, 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 hello.
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
শোনা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ শোনা যায় স্যার।
ও আচ্ছা, এখানে কে জানে লিখছে জয়েন করে, দ্যাটস ওয়াই আই ওয়াজ ওয়ারিড। সো এই রিকভারি প্ল্যানটা, এই যে ডিসাবিলিটি অর ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল ডিসাবিলিটি অর অটিস্টিক যেটাই যেভাবে আসে না কেন, আমাদের চিন্তা করতে হবে, উই হ্যাভ টু থিঙ্ক দ্যাট so it is not easy thing to do. So you have first, I will recommend that make them habituated. उन लोग को practice करना, ওদেরকে জানাতে হবে যে স্কুলে আসো, টাইম এইটা, so if possible give them some meal. I have no idea whether it is possible on your part, something like that, so meal, so that they are impressed. Drawing, also cartoon picture. You have to put the TV, cartoon picture from the young, very much young people, also adult, young adult also. So you have to set up all these things gradually, continue. Improvement has no, improvement is a continuous process. So make them, you just make them habit, you need 1 year. And the recovery loss maybe another 1 year. So we cannot do, because they have to practice. I think, I have no idea. I think students are not that much aware to attend the school. Nowadays they don't feel comfortable because they was at home 1.5 years or 2 years like this. Okay, awareness campaign and communication with the teachers and the parents are critical for successful reporting. अच्छा, আমরা যেটা বলছি এখানে, हम लोग जो बोल रहा है reopening, it is already reopened, I know, but we treat them just open, because actually 1 month or 2 months, I'm not sure about that when you have opened, but it might be 1 month before or 2 months like it. So make the campaign about with the community, with the teacher, the parents are critical for successful year. So awareness ki hobe, safety program, discuss continuous stakeholder के साथ उन लोग के साथ बात करना है, continuous उन लोग का they have to discuss about the school, how to do without the community. Somebody will pay 1 taka, that is 1 rupee, that is also important. 100 people will pay 1 taka, that is 100 rupees. 10 taka will be 10,000 rupees. So not only depend on the donations, I'm not talking about the, but you encourage for your children who are going to do this. What is your idea? What is your suggestion? Please take a note. Take a note. The management people and the official people, they'll take the note from there. And also we are wherever we are, okay, I'll talk later. Accommodation by student, teacher and staff in an at-risk group. I think, I don't know whether you accommodate school accommodation, but in general, I'm talking school that will need to take into consideration that the some staff will fall into that risk category because their age or their health risk. डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज यदि एकोमोडेशन टिकट है कोई आप लोग का अगर कुछ एकोमोडेशन फैसिलिटीज है make it different vulnerable non-vulnerable students this and that if you don't have so don't need to be worried about that these individuals should have additional accommodation okay teaching classes remotely larger classroom where social distance can maintain okay so it might be difficult but try as much as at least 3 feet, that is 4 feet, that feet. That is very good in so prepare classroom by whipping a down surface. Okay, cleaning. Just clean karna hai uske every day. It might be expensive, but it's phenyl, spray, all these things to be disinfecting cleaners. Okay, utilize student distance specific strategy. Okay, what you have to do? Exhibit symptoms until school return to normal. Then that normal 100% okay, then you have to disinfect, you may be infected. So decrease contact with the students. Distance maintain, inspect all the buses. So I think you don't have any bus. So all the school cafeterias, if you have any place to eat or snacks, so that is also building. Survey supply vendors to determine whether supply chain and delivery systems particularly are fully operational. Provide vendor supply needs cleaning. That is, thing is that we have to clean the school on a regular basis and the surroundings as well. Involve the volunteers once in a week. We all please do join in our school to volunteer yourself for cleaning weekly, fortnightly, male, female, old, senior, no problem with age. So we should clean this area 100%. Plantation also very important. Plantation as much, sorry, you use maximum space as much as you can for plantation, for gardening, for gardening or vegetables. If possible, you sell it. I did it in my factory. YOLO. আচ্ছা আমি করে দিচ্ছি জোরে করছি এখন হবে হ্যালো ক্যান ইউ হিয়ার মি নাও
Sir, hear me?
Okay, okay, nice. What to do? So make a cleaning program once in a week. Make a plantation plan fortnightly by the community, by the volunteers, not the students, maybe not possible, teachers. So in this way, make a routine. This will cleaning will give you cannot manage money, you cannot pay money for the cleaning every time. So do it once in a week or fortnightly by the volunteers. Make a volunteer group. No question of age. Those in it, that is also physically good. Disinfect all work areas, counters, restroom, door knobs and stair railing several times. Clean all the hallways, common areas, and outside the locker daily to a level of sanitation. Okay, I think you have, but anyway, I have no idea. Consider student temperature screening for students before they enter school. Alternate school days to attend half days. So maybe shift or maybe if the students are less, you can distance maintain. Allow for cleaning time in classroom. Okay. Separate student desk as much as possible. If possible, rearrange classroom 3 feet. Okay, I told you earlier. 6 feet is between desk for full day session. It depends on your classroom management. Serve lunches in classroom to avoid gathering of students in the cafeteria. It depends on your school environment and the facilities. So school office staff is encouraged to continue wipe down counters, faxes, copier telephone, keyboard, and use sanitized pens in the main office. This is you have computer, this and that must be clean before entering own desk, clean own computer, or maybe common computer that should be routine function. Prevent any non-school staff, including parents, from entering school building. Prevent. So no need to enter all the parents. Just take from the inspired and at the gate. Allow them to enter in the gate. Some teacher will receive the students. Must at the gate. Parents are entering inside, going, no need, just at the gate. Hello? 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 Hello, you cannot hear me? কেউ শুনতে পাচ্ছেন না? Am I audible?
হ্যাঁ স্যার অডিবল স্যার শোনা যায়।
ও কেউ কিছু বলছে না কেন? So now I want to discuss about your any queries or any discussion. अगर हिंदी में बोलना हम हिंदी में रिप्लाई देगा. If you want to know Bengali, I'll give you. If you want to know English, I will speak in English. So any language, you can talk to me. Sorry, আমি mute হয়ে গেছিলাম automatic. I don't know why. So আমি বলছি, if you want to ask me English, I reply in English. If you want to ask me Bengali, I reply in Bengali. If you ask me in Hindi, I'll reply you in Hindi. So please, if you have anything. ডক্টর অনুরাধা বর্মন স্যার, আপনি আজকে চুপচাপ কেন?
না আমি ছিলাম না এতক্ষণ, আমাকে তো আমি তো কো-হোস্ট ছিলাম না, আনমিউট করতে পারছিলাম না, আপনার কথা শুনছি কিন্তু উত্তর দিতে পারছিলাম না।
দেখছেন আপনাকে কিভাবে বর্মন দা আমাদের কিভাবে সরায় রাখলো?
হ্যাঁ, এটা তাপসকে বলতে হবে, এগুলো ঠিক হচ্ছে না,
পেনাল্টি করে দিবেন। আচ্ছা শুনেন, আমি যেটা বলছি সবাইকে আপনি একটু এক্সপ্লেন করে দিতে পারেন যে কোনো ইয়ের কিছু নাই, সায়ের কিছু নাই, সিম্পল ওয়েতে আই ক্যান রিপ্লাই ইন বেঙ্গলি, আই ক্যান রিপ্লাই ইন হিন্দি। হিন্দিটা একটু খারাপ হবে তবু বোঝাতে পারবো। ইফ নেসেসারি আই ক্যান স্পিক ইন ইংলিশ। দু একজন একটু চিন্তা করছে কিন্তু জিজ্ঞেস করছে না। আর বিশেষ করে আমি বলবো যাদের অটিস্টিক বাচ্চা আছে তারা আরো বেশি জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারে।
আমি ওদের
বলেছে
ওদের ইয়ে করে দিয়ে আনমিউট করতে দিয়ে চলে একটু
হ্যাঁ
আনমিউট
স্যার
করে
ওকে আনমিউট করে দিচ্ছি স্যার।
হ্যাঁ আনমিউট করে দেন
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ স্যার আনমিউট করে দিয়েছি।
हाँ आप लोग को कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ सकते हैं हिंदी में या इंग्लिश में या बंगाली में। थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू था बीच में, अभी आप लोग आपको अनम्यूट करके क्वेश्चन कर सकते हैं या चैट बॉक्स में डाल सकते हैं।
আচ্ছা বলেন যে যিনি জিজ্ঞেস করবে তারটাই আনমিউট থাকুক, বাকিগুলো মিট থাকবে, যাতে ডিস্টার্ব হচ্ছে না।
इट बोझा सर आप लोग चैट बॉक्स में डालिए, आप लोग कोई क्वेश्चन करना चाहते हैं हम लोग अनम्यूट कर देंगे आप लोगों को। किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन करना है आप चैट बॉक्स में डालिए। शुभम घोष आप क्वेश्चन करना चाहते हैं? शुभम घोष কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে? संजय रविदास एनी क्वेश्चन? मिठुन बर्मन কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে কি?
पूनम शर्मा आपको कुछ पूछना है तो बोलिए।
अंजलि मंडल एनी क्वेश्चन? मालू खीरसागर मैं समझ सकता हूँ कि पूरा इंग्लिश में था शायद और थोड़ा वॉइस क्रैक हो रहा था बीच में, तो इस वजह से कोई भी क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज पूछ लीजिए, अभी तक बहुत टाइम है, सर हैं हमारे साथ अभी तक।
इंग्लिश बंगाली और हिंदी
কারো কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকলে প্রশ্ন করবেন, প্রশ্ন করতে
হ্যালো
পারেন।
আমারটা পোস্ট করে দিও তো।
Anyone having any question please ask।
কারো কিছু জিজ্ঞাসা থাকলে করতে পারো।
कविता मंडल, शिप्रा विश्वास, বিপ্লব কুমার, কৌশিক কুমার, মঞ্জু শেখ, শ্বেতা দাস।
Hello, sir.
हाँ बोलिए प्लीज।
I just wanted to check what is the government position now in throughout the country about opening for schools for smaller children? Is it that only the older kids classes are being reopened, or what about the younger children too?
So I cannot say exactly that, but almost all all schools are open. That is there at all across the world, I think, because I didn't receive anything that is going to be open. Almost open. Maybe
Yeah, I
15
think
days,
because the
maybe.
younger children are affected a lot, no? That's
Yes.
why.
Yeah, now all open. Now all open, but
Now the more primary schools are also open।
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think your primary, yeah, primary school in Bangladesh all.
Okay. So,
आशा जी कुछ पूछ सकते हैं? आशा, you want to say something? It seems I want to share, Asha ji has put in a chat box,
বলেন তো একটু কি?
I want to share what the government authorities has done in Delhi on the learning gap that has taken place among students during pandemic. They have cancelled the after examination break, that is of 15 days, and allotted that the time specially to cover the basic concepts or to bridge the learning gap among students. Yes, that is what Sir was also saying, to reduce as much vacations as possible. Delhi government has already done that. It's a good move. Good move.
And gradually it will take 2 years to recover.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, even Karnataka government has done the same thing. They have
Oh, that is good.
decreased the exam leaves for children, and even the children are going for schools even 2 days before exams. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's everywhere, gradually. It's not opening 100% fully. This is still new normal. So it will take maybe depends.
Is a new normal, yes.
Yeah, it's still new normal because we are taking all precautions, shifting in school and 2 days off or 3 days off depends. But reopening started already. So Pulak, Tom, you want to ask me anything?
Keka Ganguly, after pandemic, remedial teaching কোনো guideline আছে?
Acha.
Is there any
After-
remedial? Is there any guideline for remedial teaching after the pandemic?
আচ্ছা যেটা এটা কি বাংলায় বলবো সে কি বেঙ্গলি
বাংলা ইংলিশ মিলিয়ে বলুন।
মিডিয়া বলি আচ্ছা pandemic is still pandemic. We are taking much preventive measures. Number one. Number two is of course the teaching, the learning and teaching the gap tasks. It should be covered gradually. Flexible learning. So there is no schedule flexible. Depends because especially for disabled children, তাদেরকে ওয়েট করতে হবে ডিসেবল চিলড্রেনদেরকে কি করতে হবে তাদেরকে স্কুলে আনার to enter in the school এই হ্যাবিটটা ফার্স্ট করতে হবে because you need 3 months or 4 months even 6 months they are habituated, they feel comfortable, school is better, they teach me means then inspire me, they talk me, use motivations procedure, motivations theory, inspiration theory and appreciate them. If possible, someone make competition that you did a good job, you take these chocolates or something like inspirational tools. That's why there is not schedule anything. It depends on the children's disability nature. Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
আর কে কি লিখলো বলেন
না এখন তো কিছু লিখছি না nothing new.
আচ্ছা আমাদের একটা মিনিট Dr. Jain Nambadur, you are here? Why you are mute?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, you can share also with me.
No, I just arrived home.
Oh, you just arrived now.
Home, yeah, from hospital.
Oh, I see. Now you have also today you have the program.
My program tomorrow morning. Tomorrow.
I see. Okay.
Ah.
Acha, he is also very what I say professional. He's a very professional in this regard, disability and others. So you can both we can share, no problem. Dr. Jain Nambadur, very close to me. अभी भी बच्चा है कभी भी ठीक है चलेगा उसको very young कभी भी हम যতগুলো হোঁচট খেয়েছি সে তো उतना হোঁচট नहीं खाया अवस्था को उसको नहीं मिला पट 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 उठते जा रहा चल रहा ऊपर से he travels every day most of the time 140 kilometer come and back. Last time he joined in as a speaker in some school or college like that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for his contribution. Anyway,
Okay,
good. Meenakshi,
হ্যালো স্যার
বলেন
বলছি স্যার সুপ্রিম কোর্টের যে মানে রায়টা যে দিয়েছে ওটা যাতে পশ্চিমবঙ্গে মেনে নেয় সেটা আপনারা কিছু করুন
ও মাই গড আচ্ছা উনি মনে আইডিয়াটা একটু শুনেন বলি না জিজ্ঞেস করতেই পারে কারণ আমরা তো অত খেয়াল করে না আমি তো বাংলাদেশের মানুষ এটা বলেন আপনি
হ্যালো হ্যালো এই যে বলছি কে বলছেন
শুভম ঘোষ।
হ্যাঁ স্যার বলুন
শুভম ঘোষ দেখুন আমাদের রিসার্চ পার্সন তো এইসব বাইরের কান্ট্রির হ্যাঁ এখানে
ঠিক আছে।
আসিয়েরও লোক নেই আর কি কোনো ঠিক আছে স্যার তো হলো
ঠিক আছে।
বাংলাদেশের হ্যাঁ
ঠিক আছে স্যার ঠিক
উনি
আছে
তো এখানকার কিছু বুঝবেন না আর কি ঠিক আছে
সরি স্যার ঠিক আছে
না নো সরি না জিজ্ঞেস করতেই পারে বিকজ গভর্নমেন্ট লেভেলে ইনিশিয়েটিভ নিলে অনেক জিনিস তো অনেক বেটার হবে সেই সেন্সে জিজ্ঞেস করবো বাট আই হ্যাভ নো আইডিয়া ঠিক আছে
ঠিক স্যার কিছু মনে কিছু করবেন না স্যার
আরে না মনে করলে কি আর এইসব জায়গায় কাজ করি তাহলে তো ওটা মনে করার দিন শেষ হয়ে গেছে, মনে করার দিন that
না
just
না,
gone
এখানে
because-
আমাদের ওই যে স্পেশাল এডুকেটর নিয়োগের বিষয়টা নিয়ে উনি জিজ্ঞাসা করতে চাচ্ছেন তো।
ও আচ্ছা, বলেন না, এটা জেনারেল বলি, জেনারেল থিওরি দি কি বলেন,
হ্যাঁ
বলেন না, হাইকোর্টটাকে বলে বুঝবে না, কি সমস্যা আছে?
না, একটু সমস্যা আছে স্যার, এটা আলোচনা সাপেক্ষ আর কি।
ও আচ্ছা, এটা গভর্নমেন্ট লেভেলে ইন্ডিয়ান
একটা
যেমন,
একটা অর্ডার হয়েছে, উনি জানতে ছিলেন আর কি।
ও না, তাহলে আমার এক মাস 6 মাস থাকতে হবে বলে, ক্যান ইউ প্রোভাইড মি 6 months ইন দিল্লি, দেন আই ক্যান রিপ্লাই। তাহলে আমি ওগুলো চেক করে বলে দেবো যে এই হচ্ছে। এনিওয়ে, আচ্ছা আমি একটা জিনিস বুঝতে পারছি না, আমি তো এখানে জানি না, আচ্ছা ইংলিশ আই ডোন্ট আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড দ্যাট দেয়ার কোন টাইপের, মানে দ্যাট ইজ ডিসেবল প্যারেন্টস কি কেউ নাই এখানে আমাদের গ্রুপে? কিছুর মধ্যে ডিসেবল মিন্স অটিস্টিক প্যারেন্টস বা intellectually I can interact with them directly, or teacher যারা গাইড করছে গতানুগতিক বললাম, তা তো করবো এখন। আচ্ছা কাজ, আচ্ছা যারা আমি বলি এখানে এই থ্যাংক
একটু খালিদের একটু নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেম হচ্ছে বোধহয়। হ্যাঁ তাপস,
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আমাদের নেক্সট রিসোর্স পার্সনের কি অবস্থা?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, এটা খালিদ স্যার কন্ট্যাক্ট করতেছে আর কি।
আচ্ছা, ওনার এখন
Hello?
ভয়েস প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, খালিদ স্যার অডিও প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, অডিও ভিডিও দুটোই।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা স্যার, দেখছি একটু।
হ্যাঁ বলেন।
স্যার ওই যে নেক্সট যে রিসোর্স পারসন স্যার,
হ্যাঁ
ম্যাট।
ও ম্যাট নাকি এখন?
এখন ম্যাট।
ও তাহলে ম্যাটকে মনে হয় ডেকে
হ্যাঁ,
দেওয়াটা
হ্যাঁ,
বেটার হবে না? তো হচ্ছে দাঁড়া, ম্যাটকে আমি কল করতেছি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমি কি সরে যাই না? ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ এভরিবডি।
না 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 স্যার, আপনি থাকেন, কল করেন আপাতত স্যার, যাবেন না সরে।
আচ্ছা ম্যাটকে আমি ডাকি, দাঁড়ান।
Thank you, sir.
থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ। ওকে, টেক কেয়ার। থ্যাংক
Thank
ইউ,
you, sir.
Thank you so
much, sir.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, sir.
থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ,
Thank you, sir.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Matt. Hello.
we are waiting for the next resource person to join us from the United States of America. हमारा जो next resource person है अमेरिका से है मैट पेडलस्टेन. पहले भी एक बार हम उनको देखे थे. The second time he is with us now. We're trying to contact him. Within a minute or so he'll be here. थोड़ा इंतजार कीजिए. उनको वहाँ सुबह 7 बजे हैं शायद लगभग. और डेट भी 25 तारीख है शायद. We are waiting for Matt Perelstein to join us in a couple of minutes. Dr. Khalid has very kindly contacted him. It is very early morning in his place. It must be around 7 o'clock up there. I'm not sure though. Once he joins, we'll come to know. Matt Pearson has already joined. Taposh.
हाँ सर.
Matt के तो co-host करो. Matt, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Matt? Matt, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Here I am. Hi, sorry
Yes.
about that.
Okay, yes. I can see you. I can see you there. Is it morning up there?
Almost. Almost. Sun's almost up.
Good morning. Good morning to America from good evening from India.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here. Appreciate it.
We are meeting you for the second time now. You were here with us last time. So it's a wonderful occasion to have Matt Perelstein out here. He is the CEO of EQ4 Inc. USA. He will be talking about emotional intelligence. It's emotional intelligence for disabled and their caregivers. Emotional intelligence for the disabled and their caregivers. So, Matt, it's time for you. Time for you can really start. Only thing is, as you know, like most of these our participants may not be very fluent in English. So maybe you need to cut down on your speech, the speed rather. Yes. Thank you for the wonderful session we had last time. We are eagerly waiting for another wonderful session with you here. Thank you. Good evening once again, and please, the floor is yours. You're a co-host. You can easily, share your slide.
Okay, will do. Thank you for having me. And I appreciate that you guys care. A lot of people don't, but you do, and that's a beautiful thing. So we are talking about emotional intelligence, which is about caring, partially, and we are talking about how you as a caregiver or you as or the disabled folks can use emotional intelligence to make your life work as best that you can. So we have someone has raised their hand. Molly, did you want to say something?
This could be a mistake.
Okay.
Very good. Do it very unknowingly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, start.
I am going to attempt to convince you that emotions matter a lot. Some people are concerned that it's a sales pitch, but it is. I'm trying to sell you on emotions, on your emotions and other people's emotions, because they matter more than we ever thought, we ever imagined before. So emotions matter. And so I'm going to introduce you to emotional safety, because safety matters with emotions. We need to make it safe for ourselves, and we need to make it safe for other people to feel their emotions so that they can get all the information that our body is giving us, to use our emotions and our cognition both to make good decisions and to live our lives as amazingly as we can. So I'm going to try to sell you on emotions. All right. And I'm going to introduce you to emotional intelligence and emotional safety, give you some of the basics and some of how it works, and then how to work it, right? How to make it practical in your life. And then, of course, to take it with you. I want you to use this the rest of your lives, if you would. And share it with other people, and share it, because most people don't know how important emotions are. And once you figure it out, it's really important to share this with other people. Okay. So, so here we go. Emotional safety for kids, for the parents of the kids, and for caregivers, which might be you and might be who you're teaching, but it's the people who deal with the people that are disabled or not disabled. This applies to everybody. Emotional intelligence applies to everybody. They say your target market can't be everybody, but in this case, it kind of is. You can't not think and you can't not feel. So this becomes emotional intelligence is the universal language. Everybody's got them and everybody's got to deal with them, and hardly anybody knows how. So let's talk about that. So the bad news is, like I said, emotions are not taught in schools yet. That's changing, and that's the purpose of our nonprofit that we are working with, is to get emotional intelligence training into schools. Even little kids can figure out, need to know, and can know how to deal with their emotions. I spent yesterday with my two granddaughters. One of them is 3 and one of them is 9 months old, little baby, right? 9 months old. And watching them be emotionally intelligent is a beautiful thing, because their mom, who's my daughter, is emotionally intelligent. And so she deals with their emotions, and in such a wonderful way. And it works. Trust me, it works. I was watching it happen. And well, I'll go into it, but anyway, sorry, I get excited. Emotions are not taught in school, and we don't talk about them at home because our parents didn't know how to speak about them. They don't know, so they're not being mean. They just don't know about them, so they didn't talk about them. And your culture and our culture both, we don't talk about emotions much at all. I guess in America, we talk about anger a lot, and Americans feel very justified to be very angry a lot. And that's a shame, in my opinion, but it's something. I guess it's a start. Anyway, we got to talk about emotions. We don't talk about them at school. We don't talk about them at work. We better not talk about them at work, right? And so what's happening is it's causing a bunch of problems in our lives, social problems for real. I think the lack of emotional education is the #2 biggest problem in the world today. Not knowing how to deal with your feelings can lead to violence, lead to abuse, leads to addictions, very definitely. And worse one lately is since the pandemic is addiction. I mean, is suicide. In India and in the United States and all over the world, suicide is shooting up. Because in my opinion, we don't know for sure, but because in my opinion, people don't like being disconnected. We are social beings, and we do not like being disconnected. And so if you put somebody in a room by themselves, all they have is their thoughts and their feelings. That's all you got. And if you don't know how to deal with them, it does not go well, right? In America, I assume in India also, the worst of the worst, what we do, we put our worst people in jail or in prison, right? And the people who can't even deal with that, with even in prison, they put them in a thing called solitary confinement, which means you put them in a room by themselves, right? That's the worst possible thing we do to people. Well, in criminal world, it's called solitary confinement. In our world, it's called lockdown, and it's not funny. It's not going well. So you get the idea. We need to know about how to deal with our thoughts and feelings, and we don't know. And so that's why I'm here in the middle of the night talking to you guys and making a big deal out of it, because it's a huge, huge, huge problem. Mental health problems, physical health. There are now many, many, many studies that are showing the connection between us not dealing with our emotions causing physical problems as an adult. Doesn't go well in our body. Our body doesn't like it. Our spirit doesn't like it. We don't like it. It doesn't work well. We need to learn about our emotions. Right? Even war, check it out. It's war, right? If you don't have any empathy, like some people we won't mention, you can go and attack, right, and kill people. But if you have some empathy, it's very, very difficult to do that. So the point of our nonprofit is to teach people emotions so that you can create peace inside of us, between us and around us, right? Maybe if enough of us learn how to create peace in our lives, maybe we can have peace in the world someday. Maybe, right? Hard to prove, but we're going to give it a try. So thank you for being here and starting off that process. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. So emotions matter. Emotions matter. They matter a lot, more than we ever imagined. Emotions matter, right? So let's talk about what emotional intelligence is. It's teachable. Emotional intelligence is teachable skills. It's language, it's skills, it's competencies. There are ways of doing things. We can deal with our emotions, and we already have everything we need. We have everything we need to be emotional. My little granddaughters are this big, right? They're 9 months old. She knows exactly she knows how to feel. She knows how to feel. She came out knowing how to feel. Right? And she knows how to smile, and she knows how to cry, and she knows how to let go when she gets her needs met. She stops crying and goes back to being happy, which is a beautiful thing, because it's our natural state to be calm and peaceful and pretty happy. We're pretty good. We come out with everything we need. The problem is that when negative emotions get on top of that, we don't know what to do with them or how to deal with them. And so they stay there, and it messes things up, and it doesn't go well. So I'm saying all we have to do, it's simple, but it's not easy. All we have to do is move our negative emotions out of our body, out of the way, out of our spirit, out of our life. And then we can go back to our natural state of being calm and peaceful and loving and happy. I'm not saying we got to learn how to deal with our negative emotions. It kind of is the point to this whole thing, so that we can have positive emotions. We calling it positive mental health. Mental health has a negative connotation to it, but we can do better than that. We can go down and deal with our stuff, and then come back up, and then keep going and be happy, be loving and wonderful and peaceful. We can. So that's what we're talking about. So we got to learn how to do the negative so that we can have the positive. We already have what we need, It's free, totally free inside of all of us, totally free. We're born with it. And the good news is we are in charge of what goes on inside of us. We're not necessarily in charge of what happens around us, but we are very definitely in charge of what happens inside of us. And that, to me, is the best news ever. That was a life changer for me. That's why I'm here. That's why I started getting into emotional intelligence. I didn't care that much about it. I had no idea. My parents didn't know. I didn't know. But then once I found out about emotions, I'm like, hey, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. So I found out that I didn't know. And I also found out that hardly anybody else knows either how to deal with their emotions. So here we go. So the good news is we are in charge of us. We can change things inside of us. If we are not feeling good, if we are not having good thoughts, and we are therefore not having good feelings, we can change it. We are in charge. That is a beautiful thing. We are in charge. So let's keep going. Okay, just a second. There we go. Okay, so here's some of the basics. It's about being smart with our thoughts, our left brain thoughts, and our right brain feelings. You know how your brain is cut in half. You'll see it in just a minute. I got a picture of it. But we're really good at this side because we learn, this is what we study in schools, but we are not very good at this side. And so we need to increase this side, our right brain, so that we can balance and we can have all the information we need. It puts us in control of our lives. Emotional intelligence is about being smart with our thoughts and our feelings. A lot of people do not do that. Don't think about what they think about. So we call it a meta study. It's about me studying me. It's about you studying you. And it's about we studying how we interact and how we get along and how to do this this life thing where we want to be connected. How do we do that? How? So we call it metacognition, which means thinking about what we're thinking about, and meta emotion, which I'm not even sure if that's a real word, but it's about feeling what you're feeling about what you're feeling about. How do you feel about how you feel, right? That kind of thing. So so it's really, really important. It's really, really free. It's really free inside of all of us. And so let's get good at thinking and feeling. We can't stop them, so let's get good at them, shall we? We cannot not think and we cannot not feel. So let's get good at both of those, shall we? That's what we're doing here. Here's some of the benefits of emotional intelligence, and this applies to you and your clients, whatever you call them, your patients, your people that you care about. This emotional intelligence applies to everybody, as I said. So EQ gives us choices, right? If we have more information, we can make better and more choices, right? We don't have to think and feel what we used to think and feel. We have choices. We can change it. We have freedom. We can get power. We can use our thoughts and our feelings to give us the power that we need to make things happen in our lives. Emotional intelligence allows us to love. We can open up our heart. We can open up our mind to people. We can create intimacy and feel alive like never before. That is emotions. Those are about being good at your emotions. And in my opinion, I don't think I have a slide on this. If we get good at our negative emotions, we can do amazing things, because if we're scared of being scared, if we're afraid of our anger, if we're afraid of being out there and expressing ourselves, if we can't do any of that because we're too afraid of it, then that limits us. That limits us so much. But if we can deal with our negative emotions, our fear, our anger, and our sadness in particular, fear, anger, and sadness, I'll talk more about this in a minute. then if we can deal with those three things, just those three parts of our body in our life, we can do incredible things. There's just not that much that life can throw at us that we can't handle. That to me was like I said, a life changer, because I was like, oh my goodness, if I didn't used to be like this. I didn't used to be like this. I learned to be like this. I've been working hard to be like this. It seems I'm not out of control, but I can let go of the control of the limits that I used to have. I used to be so afraid all the time of everybody. I was afraid, and afraid does this, right? Uh-oh, what about, oh, I better not, oh my goodness, oh, I got, right? All this fear. Now I go, you know what? I can deal with my fear. I can deal with if I'm close to you, or if I am out here trying to make things happen and it doesn't go well, which it doesn't sometimes. That's reality. It doesn't go well sometimes. I get my feelings hurt. I misread things. People go away, that kind of thing. If I can deal with that, then I can deal with anything. Bring it on, baby. I'm ready. Let's do this, right? If I can deal with me, then I can be all kinds of things. So say whether you're disabled or not, I know this is supposed to be toward disabled, but whether people are disabled or not, they still have emotions, and they still need to know how to deal with them, and they still need to know how to let go and to shift things and to look at the thoughts that happen before your emotions. That we can do that. It doesn't matter if you're disabled or not. This is universal, in my opinion. So we can get better results. We can be more successful. We can be a leader. You can be a leader if you want to in your job or in your work or in your life, and you can lead in your family. You can lead your own self. You can lead your career. You can lead yourself. So you can lead with emotional intelligence, because you're thinking about what you're thinking about, and you can make things happen the way you want them to happen. So it's awesome that way. So we can give us self-esteem, self-care, self-love. If things don't go well and I get my feelings hurt, or whatever, something doesn't go well, I can deal with that, and I can be okay, and I can soothe myself, and I can keep my self-esteem, even though I might have messed up. I do mess up pretty often. But it's okay. I can make it okay, learn from it. Maybe it's not okay, so I definitely have to learn from it, but still I need to move on. Perseverance, resilience, and grit. I love that word. Grit is emotional intelligence word. Grit means this is really going to be hard, and I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to succeed, or I'm going to make it. I'm going to live through this. That kind of anger is a good thing, not the other kind of anger where you did it to me and you need to be shot or whatever, like they do in the United States. So we can celebrate ourselves. We can find purpose. We can find inner peace. We can build teams. We can make things happen. We can create relationships. The people that put on this event were very brave, because it could have not gone well, right? Could have gone not well. So thank you for that. But you're managing your fear, basically, by being out there and making things happen on a bigger level. And we can heal our pain. We can heal our sadness and our anger. We don't have to carry that around in our body. We can heal stuff from the past, from way in the past, from the recent past, from right now. We can keep our body clean from carrying fear and anger and sadness around that is just so destructive to us. So I'm a big fan. Can you tell? Emotional intelligence is the key to all of this, and it's all free. It's all free. So let's talk about what the basics of it are. All right. So we got, come on, trying to change slides here. There we go. 5 components to SEL. SEL is social emotional learning. That is what emotional intelligence or EQ is called in the academic world. Usually most schools don't teach EQ, they teach SEL. Hopefully they teach one or the other, but it's called social emotional learning. Okay, that's just the same thing, different word, but it's about academics. So Dr. Daniel Goleman down here at the bottom of the slide, he started a lot of this by writing a book called Emotional Intelligence, how it can matter more than IQ, right? Your EQ can matter more than your IQ, he's saying. I'm saying we got to balance them. He wrote a book on that in 1995, so 20 something years ago, 27 years ago. And it took, it didn't take off. It became, people recognize the word. Now it's starting to take off because their things are bad. Unfortunately, that's why it's being so popular now. But oh well, that is how it is. So, which is part of emotional intelligence too. It is how it is, exactly as it is. Who said that? Anyway, I'll remember it. So here's the 5 steps. 5 steps to emotional intelligence. First, self-awareness. We got to know about ourselves first, right? That's the metacognition. That's about learning about ourselves. Learn about you. It's also called mindfulness. It's also called consciousness. It's also called opening your eyes and being aware of yourselves and your life and your thoughts and your emotions and how you handle things and how your body handles things, how your mind handles things, and adjusting that. So, well, first it's awareness first. We can't do anything until we're aware, right? So second is self-management, which is doing something with that awareness. So, okay, I'm angry now, or I'm sad now. What am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with that? And we differentiate what are we going to do with a feeling versus what are we going to do about a feeling. Check out the difference. What are you going to do about that? If you have a problem, what are you going to do about it? Well, about is an action. Well, I'll get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. About is an action. With is, what are you going to do with it? Well, it's a different story. That's inside of me. And what am I going to do with my thoughts and my feelings is different than what am I going to do about it. Check it out. So back to my, sorry, I get excited. Self-awareness. I got to know about me. Self-management, I got to understand me and be able to manage me so that I can also have social awareness. I can, if my thoughts and my feelings matter to me, well, guess what? They matter to them too, to everybody else. You guys, they matter to you. Your thoughts and your feelings matter to you. And if I can pay attention to your thoughts and feelings and know that they matter to you, well, that moves to the next step, which is relationship skills. So if you care about what other people think and feel, they are gonna like that. They like that a lot. So you have better relationships, which makes you feel better, which gives you connection, and it's a wonderful thing. So knowing yourself, knowing others, being able to manage yourself, being able to manage others, your relationship with others. And then lastly is responsible decision making, which means I have thoughts and I have feelings. And if I take them both into account, then I can make really good decisions. If I just have thoughts and I ignore my feelings, it doesn't go as well. Try it. Try making a purely logical decision and ignoring your emotions. It usually doesn't go very well, right? We need to adjust them. Example of, you can have really good thought. Oh, the way it works is we are identify, does it make sense when I'm making a decision? Does it make sense? And does it feel good? Both. Does it make sense? And does it feel good or feel right inside of us? Now we got a good decision because we're taking into account both sides of our brain. So it's about our thoughts. Boom, left brain thoughts. right brain feelings. Of course, if you're a scientist, it's sort of like that. It's not exactly like that. Our amygdala and our prefrontal cortex, et cetera, are in the center. And so it's not exactly left and right, but it kind of makes sense to people when we talk about it. Here's a cool picture of it. So we're taking our left brain, which we're really good at, and we're adding our right brain, our colorful, our creative, our passion, our feeling, our senses. We're adding right brain to our left brain so that we can have whole brain. We can have whole brain living and make good decisions and have all the passion and wonder and joy in life is all over here. It's not necessarily a logical thing. So take them both into account. I'm not saying that emotional intelligence is more important than intellectual intelligence. I don't think it is. I think we need to balance them. So we have thoughts, feelings, actions. We have a thought, and in that order too. Thought, then we feel what we feel about it, and then we make a decision, and then we act on it, right? Thoughts, feeling, action. Those are the only things we get to control, kind of. The good news, that's the good news. And the other news is that's all we need. That's all we need. We need to deal with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. And if you change one of them, they will all three change. Check that out. All right. They're teachable skills. So in between, one thing that, okay, so let me go back to this one. If you want to learn more about this, see this slide down the bottom, it says 6seconds.org. Go there and learn more about emotional intelligence. They have tons of stuff. This graphic is theirs. They have tons of information. They have certifications. They have assessments. They have case studies. They have wonderful training on emotional intelligence. 6seconds.org, and it's called 6 seconds because it's kind of a funny name, but it takes physically, scientifically, when we have a strong emotion, whoop, it takes about 6 seconds for it to settle down. If we just shut up for a couple of seconds, like counting to 10. You've heard that about counting to 10 and you calm yourself down. That really works. That really works. So it takes about 6 seconds to have this electronic energy in our body to settle down. So if we could just take the 6 seconds, that's the point, their point. So they have a lot of good things. So go to that website if you want to learn more about emotional intelligence. This is their Think, Feel, Act. And it's actually, in my opinion, it's actually Think, Feel, Decide, Act, because the decision part is the trick to this whole thing. That's where we get to choose. That's where we get to choose, is in making good decisions. So balance is the key. Balance, right? Left and right brain information. Does it make sense? And does it feel good? Make for responsible decision making. This guy on the left has got good IQ, not so good EQ. If he raises up his EQ, then he can soar. You get the idea. I hope. Okay. We are born. This is natural. This is natural. I was talking about my granddaughters. It's really true. I saw it happen. My granddaughter was, when she was just born, like less than an hour old, she started crying. And her mom went, hi. And she got in and she goes, hi, little baby. I have a little video of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And she's crying. And then she sees her mom and she kind of feels it and hears her mom. And she just settles right back down and goes to smile. It's amazing to watch it really happen. So we're born with only a very few fears and no anger. We're not born with anger, right? So that's good news, because that means that everything that you're afraid of and everything you're angry about and everything you're sad about was learned behavior. You learned it. You picked it up as you were going, and you then you're carrying it around with you now, but it's yours and you can do something with it because you learned it. So you can unlearn it, you can change it, you can adjust it. You're not stuck with it, right? A lot of people we're finding with suicide are saying, I feel stuck. I don't know what to do with this. I have bad feelings. I have bad thoughts, and I don't know what to do with them. I can't get rid of them. And so I can't take this anymore. That's something we tell ourselves. I can't take this anymore. And boom, they're gone. And we can do something with it. We can. So that's why I'm here. That's what we're learning. So if we learn to be angry, we can unlearn it. If we learn to be afraid, we can unlearn it if we need to. It's really important that we know that all this stuff happens underneath the skin, under invisibly, under the where you can't see it. It's invisible. I don't know what the word is, under something, in our heart. All these things happen in our heart, but what only our actions are seen by the rest of the world. So you get the idea. Aristotle said, changing the heart educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. That's a little bit severe, but I think you get the idea. We need to learn both sides. Now, here's the good news. Now we're going to practical, all right? No matter what happens outside of us, we have the power to control what happens inside of us. And I'll show you how that works in just a second, all right? So, awareness first. Got to be aware of stuff first. We then accept it, all right? Not fight it, not deny it, not lie about it, not drink over it or drug over it or try to kill it or any of that stuff. All we got to do is accept it. We become aware of we're having a thought and feeling. We then accept it. It only takes this long, or you can fight it the rest of your life. And so awareness, acceptance, and then you get to decide. You get to take some action based on what you think and feel, or not, right? Or not. Sometimes, many times with strong emotions, no feeling or no action is a good action. It's a good idea. Keep your mouth shut, right? Sometimes you don't have to blast people. You don't have to yell at spokes. You don't have to shoot people just because they made you mad on the road or something stupid like that. We don't have to do all that stuff. We can choose not to act. Here's the good news about that. We choose. We are in control. We get to manage us. We get to manage our lives. That is super good news to me. So here's kind of the point of this whole thing. If you don't take anything away from this, I want you to learn, just take this one thing. I call it emotional responsibility. It's the best news. The people that do well take emotional responsibility, which means your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, your actions are yours. They are yours. They didn't do it to you. People don't make you angry. No one has ever made you angry. You make you angry. People don't hurt your feelings. You hurt your feelings because your thoughts make you feel that way. Your angry thoughts make you feel angry. Your hurt thoughts make you feel hurt. Not them. They're just doing what they're doing. They didn't do it to you. If you can take that leap, if you will, if you can take that responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions, then you can do incredible things. If you don't, you become a whiner and a blamer and a victim. They did it to me. It's the government, it's my parents, it's the school, it's the it's the world is doing this to me, and I have no choice, and poor me, and blah 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 blah, and down it goes. But if you can say, no, I chose that, I made that thought, I made that decision, I did that, then I can do something with it, and I can be in charge of my life. So if you take nothing else from this, please, please, please take that your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, your actions, your values are yours. Not some of them, all of them, please. All right. Here's how it works. A little more specifically. Stuff happens outside of us. Events happen. They just do. If we get out of bed in the morning, things are going to happen. if we don't get out of bed in the morning, things are going to happen. Just things happen. The world goes on no matter what, right? It just does. Okay. Outside of us. Now, we have thoughts and feelings about what happened, what's happening, or what happened. We have thoughts and feelings about those. Once we have a thought and feeling about that, guess what? It's ours. Now it's inside and now it's ours. It completely 100% ours. We looked at something, we decided how it is, and we took it inside. Now it's ours. All right. Example, somebody's leaving, someone's walking right there. Somebody's walking across away. They're just walking, right? So what does it mean? What do I think about that? I think someone's walking. I observed somebody walking, right? But what if that person is walking away from you? What if they are leaving you and you think they're leaving permanently? Oh, now we got a different thought and a different feeling about that person walking. It's still a person walking, right? It still is an event. But my thought and my feeling about that event is completely different. And it was completely made up by me. It was completely made up by me. So I get to be in charge of it. I get to manage it, right? So how do we manage it? It's now inside of us. I'm thinking, oh no, they're leaving me. What am I going to do about that? First, awareness. Oh, okay. This doesn't feel good. I don't like this thought. They're leaving. They're leaving. Oh my goodness, right? We're aware. All right. So now we know we're having thoughts and feelings about that. Next, acceptance. Okay. All right. I'm having a thought or feeling about that. Big deal. It's okay. It's okay. If we can manage our thoughts and feelings, then we can be okay with what's happening. And that is a big step toward inner peace. But we can fight it. No, we can, or we can accept it. Take your pick. Accept awareness first. Acceptance. Then, okay, what am I going to do with this thought and feeling? I evaluate it. Do I like it? Is it working for me? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? We can evaluate it. We can then make a decision based on what's happening. That person's leaving. What am I going to do about that? Maybe nothing, maybe something, but I get to decide, right? And then I can take action. So awareness, acceptance, action again. So now I can take action. When I take action, go run after the person or holler or cry or change them or write to them or whatever, any kind of action I decide to take because that person just walked away is up to me, right? It's up to me. That's a good news. That's a really, really good news. So I'm going to decide to take some action that is now outside of me. So the thing happened, the person walked, I then process it through my body, and now I am doing action that is again outside of me, inside, outside, both. But people can see it. They can watch it happen, right? The action is really, really important. A bunch of small actions become our behaviors and who we are and what we do. And then, of course, that's the results that we get in life based on what we decide to do. Okay, makes sense? So, and outside comes inside, we process it. That's the emotional intelligence part. We be smart about it. We then act on that and we make our lives look the way we want them to look and feel the way we want them to. Pretty cool, huh? This kind of sums it up. Inner world, thoughts and feelings, outer world, actions and results, right? So one of the things, as we're starting emotional intelligence, one of the things to very, very basics is to check in with yourself and other people. What are you feeling? Okay. If you say, we have found that if you say, how are you? Or how are you doing kind of thing, people will answer usually in the United States, at least, with their physical issues. They will say, I've got a pain, or, I have cancer, or I have, I'm tired. In the United States, people say, I'm tired all the time. I'm tired because they're overwhelmed and too much going on and they're exhausted, which is a shame, but it's true. And so, but if you say, what are you feeling? You get a different answer. You get a much more interesting answer. And here is a chart of that's called I can't pronounce his name, Plutchik's wheel of emotion. It's very strong. And this is used in the industry quite a bit. It's to give you specifically what are you feeling. If you can identify your feelings, it really helps to be able to explain, at least to yourself, what you're feeling, and to share it with other people. It's helpful to have a good vocabulary of emotional feelings. So when we're getting started, we just ask, what are you feeling? What are you feeling? Try to identify it. And you can do this with your clients and your students, is just check out it's one of the most powerful things we found, even in preschool, even the little tiny kids. What are you feeling? They have a chart up on the wall with smiley face and sad face and angry face. What are you feeling? And that's the start of this whole thing, because that gives awareness and acceptance. And what are you feeling? You going to do anything about it? Probably not. That's okay. You're deciding to take action, right? And a good action, right? So it's really helpful to have a full vocabulary of feeling words so you can explain. And we found that it's also very helpful to be able to sum up your feelings into just a few words. There's this website has 4,000 or 5,000 words now that are feeling based words. But if you can sum it up and kind of boil it down to just the big three, I call them: fear, anger, sadness. What is it? Is this fear or anger or sadness? They're different. You handle them differently usually, but it's really helpful to be able to identify which one it is. One or ones. You can have 2 or 3 feelings at the same time, or 17 at the same time. You really can. But if you sum it up, and like I said, if you can get good at your fear, your anger, and your sadness, just those 3, get really good at all 3 of those, then there just isn't that much that life can throw at you that you can't handle. And that is a beautiful feeling. That is a wonderful feeling. So those are the big 3 negatives. You deal with those, you release those, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then you come back up, and they naturally turn back to positive, because that's our natural state, right? Peace, love, and joy. Let go of the negative. The positive comes right back. And it all starts with our thoughts. We watch out for your thoughts. If you have yucky feelings, try to figure out what are the thoughts behind them. Same with your people that you're working with. If they're having a bunch of feelings, try and figure out what are the thoughts behind them. And if you don't like their thoughts, then change them. If I say, oh my gosh, I can't live without this person that's walking away, that's not a good thought. That's not going to feel good, is it? I can't live without him. Oh my gosh, that's fear, right? I can't live without him. You're going to have really yucky thoughts. But is that true? No, I can live without him, and I'm going to live without him because they're walking away. So that will help me feel better. All right. How do I deal with this? How do I manage this? What am I going to do with my emotions? What am I going to do about this whole thing, etc.? That's emotional intelligence. And so I can have a different thought, and I call it spin it to win it. Spin your thoughts, change them a little bit. If this thought is not going well, is not a good thought, then I can make a better thought. I can't change it. I can put a better thought after it. I can consciously, on purpose, think a better thought. We do it all the time in school. We do it all the time at work. We consciously think something on purpose. And so you can have conscious thoughts, and you can consciously change them. All right. This is one of the things that I recommend, that I've been teaching for 30 something years. A lot of people don't agree with it or don't like it. They don't like it because it's not fun and it's not comfortable. But what we found is that if that person is leaving, and I am thinking, oh my gosh, I can't live without this person, that's going to have really strong feelings, right? You're going to have really strong feelings. What do you do with those feelings? Feel them. Feel them just for a minute. Let yourself cry. Let yourself be mad. Like, no, that's wrong. That's not okay with me. Even though it's happening, it's not okay with me. And I don't like it. And okay. All right. All right. I have all this stuff in my body. I can let my body feel it because it's real. And then I can let it go. And then I can let it go. And then I can let it heal, right? And I can get back to calm and peace and love and joy, because those are the positive. If I can let myself feel the negative, even for a second, and then let it go, right? We call it let it flow, then let it go. Or get in, get it out, and then get on. I like that one. So feeling your feelings is a way to deal with your feelings. Most people do not teach this. Most people don't like it. It's not that much fun, but it is incredibly effective and it's super powerful. And you then learn how to trust yourself. You learn how to not be afraid of your own feelings. Hey, you can be not, you don't have to be afraid of your own self. How cool is that, right? Because you then felt something strong and you lived. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. I can do that. That's a beautiful feeling. Okay, so there's inner peace, as I mentioned, about trying to deal with stuff inside of us. There's also interpersonal peace in our communications, which is between us. Some of the guidelines for that is, and this goes for caregivers or teachers or any or love relationships or any kind of relationship. In my opinion, emotions have to do with safety, safety, and safety. Three biggest important things are safety, safety, safety. And that starts with you being safe with you, meaning you are not judging and denying your feelings. You are safely responding to yourself and your emotions, and you're safely responding to others and accepting and being allowing them, being aware of them. You have respect for yourself and others and your thoughts and feelings. You have acceptance. You do not necessarily have to approve of what people are doing, but you can accept that they're doing what they're doing because they are doing what they're doing. You can accept it or you can fight it. It's up to you, but you don't have to approve and you can still accept. Just like you don't have to be, you can be angry and sad and fearful and peaceful at the same time. If I know I can deal with my emotions, then I can basically be peaceful, even though I don't like something that just happened. I don't like that that person's leaving. It makes me angry. It hurts my feelings. I don't like it. I'm not okay with it, but I can still, but I am, but basically I am. Basically, I can still be peaceful. And so so it boils down to feelings matter a lot. Safety is a key. If you can make it safe for other people, right? This is the caregiver part. If you can make it safe for them, you become so very valuable to them. You become incredibly valuable to them because you are making it safe. A lot of times they're not even safe with themselves, but you can help them feel safe with their emotions and their own self. And then you become super valuable to them. Relationship skill. All right. Starts with empathy. Empathy meaning I care about what you think and feel. And empathy starts with I care about what I think and feel. And not only do I care about it, I'm going to be gentle with me about it. I can be calm with me about my feelings. If I am sad that this person is leaving, if I'm angry that this person is leaving, okay, I understand. I'm talking to me. I understand. I can dig it. I get it. All right, that hurt. I can see that. You know, it's me talking to me. That's that meta, it's analysis thing, meta cognition, if you will. So be gentle with yourself. Have empathy and compassion for yourself first. And then you will find that you magically have empathy and compassion for other people also. But first you. And what we teach usually is we've been teaching a workshop, a weekend intensive breakthrough workshop called New Directions for 35 years, 36 years now. And if the better you know you, the better you like and love you, the better you can like and love other people and create better relationships, and they feel safe around you, etc. It all starts with you. And it starts with not you as you are now. It starts with you as your inner child, you as a child. And if you can have empathy and compassion for what happened to you as a child to make you how you are now, you can have empathy and compassion for others as well. Quite naturally, it just happens. Empathy is about focusing on them, listening with soul, I call it. I think I have a slide on that. I don't know. Soul is shut up, stop. The S is stop, open up your heart and listen, right? Open up. One of the biggest skills of emotional intelligence is our ability to open our heart or not. Some people aren't safe. Some people are mad. Some people are throwing their energy around. I don't want to be open around you. I'm not going to be open around you. But when you stop doing that, or when I leave you, I can open back up again. My control, my power, again, me being in charge of me. Beautiful thing. So when you listen, if you stop what you're thinking and feeling, open up and listen to people. Curiosity, how do people manage their emotions different? We all have similar emotions, but how you manage them and the thoughts behind your emotions are very different for different people. And so you go, I wonder what they were thinking, or ask them, what were you thinking? What do you feel? What's going on inside of you? Curious, just curious, no judgment to it. Suspend judgment and go, what were you thinking that made you feel that way? Curious is a good thing, without judgment. We speak carefully with people because we know that their thoughts and feelings matter to them, right? And we appreciate their uniqueness. Wow, I never would have thought of that. No, my mind doesn't go that way, but if yours does, okay, I can help you with yours or whatever. You can manage it. You can learn to manage it because this is how your system works, different than how my system works. That's all. Acceptance. Not, you don't have to approve, but you can accept. So empathy is ability to understand, action to understand. I'm running out of time. I'm going to go a little faster here. There's 3 different types of empathy. I can put myself in your shoes cognitively, logically. I can feel with you emotionally, right? We do both sides, left brain and right brain. And I can stand with you in your action. That's an action, right? Thought, feeling, action. So those are different types of empathy, which is pretty cool. Empathy, we have a huge emotional intelligence group on social media group on Facebook and LinkedIn, a couple of them that I help manage, and hundreds of thousands of people in them. And we asked, what's the most important skill of emotional intelligence? Answer was overwhelmingly empathy. Empathy is very, very strong, very important. So good thing for you as the role model or as the caregiver is, how did your parents deal with their emotions? How did your teachers deal with their emotions, or not deal with them, more likely? All right. And watch what they did. Check out what they did and watch what you're doing. Watch what you're doing, because chances are it's similar. Check it out. It really helps to find a buddy to work with, someone you feel safe with, someone that you can be real and have a buddy and give you honest feedback, but honest but gentle feedback. So find a buddy to help you. Ability to open and close your heart, I just mentioned, is super huge. Listening skills, make feelings okay with you, make the feelings okay. And when people start to cry, this is a skill, in my opinion. If people start to cry, we usually try to stop them. We give them a tissue, or we say, oh, that's not so bad. Or we try to make them feel better real quick, try to get them to stop crying. I do the opposite. try to get them to keep crying. Seems kind of bizarre, but this is the feel it to heal it things. Try to get them to keep crying until they've cried out stuff out of them. And your heart and your body will thank you for it. But try to help people keep crying until they're done, or even be angry for a minute. Are you angry about that? Yes. Well, just let yourself be angry for a minute and then let it go. And so we want to get the garbage, the negative stuff out of our body, not carry it around inside of us. So as a caregiver, you can encourage people to open up and dump the stuff. It doesn't have to be on you. It doesn't have to be on the person they're upset about. It's just out of them. It's not on you or on anybody. It's out of them. So open up, listen, communication skills. We can have boundaries. We get to have boundaries, you guys. There's some rules. We don't hurt people. We don't put down, no name calling, sarcasm. This is about safety again. Safety, right? You talk about I. This is what you're the expert on is I. And so you talk about I because that's what matters. I mean, that's what you know about. So you come from I feel, I think, I want, that kind of thing. You won't get in arguments that way because you're talking about you and it's not debatable. It's just, this is just me. So okay, takeaways from this. Awareness, we have thoughts and feelings. Big surprise, we have thoughts and feelings. They're different. We got to handle them differently, but we have thoughts and we have feelings. We don't just have thoughts. We have thoughts and feelings. They are accepted, that they are ours, that we made them, we created them, we get to manage them 100% emotional responsibility. And then I can act on those thoughts and feelings or not. That's up to me too. So accept emotional responsibility, live EQ, and share it, please, because like I said, most people don't know about this. We didn't learn about it in school. Please share what you learned. With great power comes great responsibility. I love that line. What movie is it from, by the way? But it's really true. Now that you know about emotions, you could share it with someone else, please. So are you commit to changing some things in your life to be more emotional? Find a partner. Here's some resources. This is the basis of our nonprofit, is that world peace begins with inner peace, as the Dalai Lama, the current Dalai Lama said this, the wonderful quote. The question of real lasting world peace concerns human beings as basic human feelings are at the root of world peace. Check that out. Human feelings, world peace, connection. It matters. So we have some resources. I will give the this PowerPoint to the leaders and to share with you afterward. We can be friends. Let's be friends on Facebook or LinkedIn or WhatsApp. And if you want to help us bring peace to the world and through emotional intelligence, join our nonprofit mailing list. All right. I hope you can, something you can take away from this. And I appreciate you listening. Motions matter. Notice the mat part, matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. How we doing? I'm sorry I went over, but I have hundreds and hundreds of slides. I went as fast. I could keep going, but I won't.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the thank yous. Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye, sir. Welcome, India, sir.
What was the last thing?
Welcome, India, sir. India, sir.
Am I coming to India?
India, sir.
Did you say?
Welcome.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, yes. You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, namaskar. Namaskar. किसी को कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ लीजिए आप लोग। किसी को कुछ सर को क्वेश्चन करना है तो आप लोग क्वेश्चन कर सकता है। Any question, any doubt? Any doubt?
Any doubts? Not for me.
Sir, thank you for such a wonderful session. It was amazing and gave a lot of knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have one question just. You were talking about thought, feeling, and action, like the basic components of EQ. For example, suppose like one of my client, she has been like, we have been talking a lot about, our thoughts and feelings regarding our sessions. But what happens, she finally gets stuck with an action. Like she is able to understand what she's feeling in a particular moment. Like she's feeling her feelings. She's even being able to track her thoughts and understand like which particular thought is triggering her feelings. But when it comes to actions, she gets stuck. She is not being able to decide or what should be done next, and she feels. What we can do here? Sir, you are on mute. You're on mute, sir.
Is she having trouble with her decisions or her actions or both?
Basically, decisions. She is not being able to decide how should she act. And that's why it's like a emotional recycle she's in. Like she's again feeling sad. Then she's trying to track her action, trying to track her feelings and thoughts, but she's not being able to do anything. And that makes her even more sad.
Yeah. So is it that is it a powerless thing that she can't do anything, or she can't decide what to do?
Basically, she's going through a grief period. Like she lost her father recently. So can be a powerless thing because somehow she blames herself for the whole event.
Okay, so what it sounds like, my guess is that she has very strong feelings about losing her father that she maybe hasn't dealt with. And what happens is if we have really strong feelings that we haven't acknowledged and dealt with, then it messes up our left brain. The right brain, you have what's called an amygdala hijack. You might have heard that term before. I'll put it in the chat. It's a Daniel Goleman term, amygdala hijack. And that is when your emotions get so high that you can't even think anymore. And so you have to deal with the emotions and let yourself cry and be angry, maybe that she lost her dad, and sad, right? Let her feel those things, and then you can think clearer. What they found with kids in school is that the higher their emotional intelligence, the better their IQ. Your EQ can help your IQ. Does that help at all?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Any other questions?
Any question? Any question?
How do you deal? There's one in the chat. How do we deal with sadness that we feel when we see someone in pain and we just want to share, but we can't? Yeah, I hear you, Asha. I am very empathic as well. I watch things that are happening and it makes me very, very sad. I take on other people's pain sometimes, which is not useful or not helpful, but again, feel it to heal it, in my opinion, is the way. So when it gets big and I start feeling really sad for other people or for myself, it doesn't really matter. Then I let myself cry. I let myself feel the sadness, just really just fall into it for a few minutes and let my body, my right brain take over, and let my body, we keep anger, sadness, and fear, we keep them in different places in our body. So if she can find where do you keep your sadness? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Sometimes we keep it in our neck. Sometimes it's in our back. Sometimes it's in our shoulders, whatever. It can be in your fingers. It doesn't matter. Where is it in your body? What is it trying to tell you? I can accept it. I can learn from it. I can understand it. I can have empathy for myself, and I can understand that that's okay with me. And then I can also go, well, what do I want to do with this? Like some people keep anger in their fists, right? Well, in their hands. What do I want to do with this? Well, I don't want to be, I could hit something, not somebody, something gentle, couch, bed, or pillow, and release that energy. I could also just pull it out. I can drop it out. I can drip it out, right? I can turn it into snowflakes or butterflies. It seems kind of silly, but it's actually really works. It's called neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. If you've heard that term before, it's a beautiful thing, study, and it allows us to find out how we take in information, how we store it in our body, how we access it, and how we release it. And it's very, very important to our body to be able to release negatives. So sometimes you can't see what's happening, but you can release stuff from your body, negative pain, and feel better. And fill back up with positives. Thank you, Asha. Any other questions or comments? Hello to Khalid. Thank you for inviting me, sir.
Thank you, sir. And now Khalid sir join. Please, sir. Khalid sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So especially,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, I thank you also to Mr. Matt Palestine, who has dedicated since long with me, and also this might be his second session. Really, he is very exceptional, because wherever he stays, if I request, he never refuses. Khalid, thank you. I'm very happy to be with that program. Always inspire me, and he's really, really an exceptional person in USA. He's very much. Thank you, Mr. Matt. Thank you, really.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Matt, for your kind joining, as well as exceptional and very practical, realistic deliberation of the thoughts and ideas you shared with us. Thanks to Borman for providing all of us for a great, for a great program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's the most practical subject there is, in my opinion, because it's 24/7. At 365, we think, we feel. Let's get good at both of them. There is nothing more practical than that. There isn't.
It's true.
I uploaded my PowerPoint to Google Drive just now, and so here comes the link to it in the chat. Boom. So feel free, enjoy, share, do what you can with it. Thank you for the thank yous, you guys. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to leave now. I appreciate it again, and God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Good night
Bye-bye,
here
sir.
in Bangladesh, and good morning to Mr. Matt.
In America.
Okay, sir. Good night. Good night. Good morning.
All right. So I think end of this program, right?
হ্যাঁ, ওকে, ইয়েস স্যার।
আর কিছু বলতে চান?
না স্যার, আজকের মতো শেষ হয়ে গেল। কালকে এখন তো আমাদের আবার এভুলেশন পার্ট ওনাদের কাছে যাবে, লিংক যাবে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে। থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ মিস্টার বর্মন, আসলে অনেক ভালো উদ্যোগ। আমি সত্যিকার বলি, আরো ভালো করব, আরো সময় দিব। তো আমি যখনই আপনি বলেন আমি চেষ্টা করি জয়েন করতে। আমি বাইরে থেকে ছিলাম, মর্নিং আই ওয়াজ ডে বিফোর ইয়েস্টারডে আই ওয়াজ আউটসাইড। আমি জাস্ট ফর ইউর প্রোগ্রাম আই কেম এট জাস্ট এট 5 and one glass of water, then I sleep for few minutes, then I came back. যাই হোক, আমি চেষ্টা করি। আর প্র্যাকটিক্যালি যেটা হচ্ছে বলি, আমরা তো আসলে প্র্যাকটিক্যাল কথাই বলতে চেষ্টা করি সবাই, কিন্তু ইমপ্লিমেন্টেশন পার্টটা খুব কঠিন। আস্তে আস্তে করেন। আমি বলি, যেহেতু কোভিড সিচুয়েশন এখন, আস্তে আস্তে ইউ ক্যানট ডু এভরিথিং। অনেক এক্সপেন্ডিচারের ব্যাপার, অনেক টাকার ব্যাপার, অনেক ফিনান্সের ব্যাপার। সো গ্র্যাজুয়ালি যেটা করবে দ্যাট শুড বি ফর এভার। মনে করবেন যে আমি এটা একটা গাছ লাগাবেন, দ্যাট উইল রিমেইন। এটাও কিন্তু ইম্পর্টেন্ট। আমি জানি না আপনারা প্ল্যান্টেশন প্রোগ্রামগুলো নিচ্ছেন কিনা বা নেন কিনা। প্ল্যান্টেশন, হ্যাঁ নেন না? গুড। বিল্ডিং এর দেওয়ালের ধারে নারকেল গাছ, সুপারি গাছ, তারপরে হচ্ছে ওই যে আরেকটা কি বলে জানি, মেহগিনি গাছ, কস্টলি গাছ। কিছু অন্য যে জায়গায় মেহগনি গাছ, একটা মেহগনি গাছ বাংলাদেশও 50,000 টাকা সেল হয়, বড় একটা। সো ইট উইল টেক টাইম, মেবি 10 ইয়ার্স 8 ইয়ার্স। এটা একটা জিনিস। তাহলে হবে কি, কিছু সাবসিডাইজ করতে পারবেন। কিছু যদি ল্যান্ড কিনে রাখেন, ওই ল্যান্ডটা অনলি চেষ্টা করবে যে ওই ল্যান্ডে খালি আমি মেহগনি গাছ লাগাবো। বিকজ আমি করি না, কিন্তু আমি দেখছি পিপলস 5-7 বছর পর একটা ভালো 10-12 লাখ টাকা চলে আসে। বুঝছেন? আমার জাস্ট আইডিয়া দিচ্ছে। তারপরে শাকসবজির জায়গা থাকলে একটু করলেন, বা কেউ যদি একটা জায়গা দেয় আপনাকে, ওইটা ভলেন্টিয়ারি করেন, ওই শাকসবজি সেল করলো, বা নিজেরাও টিচাররা খেলো। জানেন এগুলো তো করেন বর্মনদা, এগুলো তো করেন নাকি?
না স্যার, এগুলা আমাদের যেখানে আমরা অর্গানাইজেশন চালাই, এখানে ল্যান্ড সেরকম নেই আর কি। আমাদের খালি ঘরেরটাই আছে আর কি। আর আমরা নতুন করে একটা ঘর করছি আর কি ওখানে, এই আর কি। এমনি প্লান্টেশন প্রোগ্রামটা আমরা করি আর কি। প্লান্টেশন আমাদের বিভিন্ন সময় আমরা অর্গানাইজেশন থেকে আর কি আমরা করার চেষ্টা করি আর কি বিভিন্ন জায়গায়।
হ্যাঁ, প্ল্যান্টেশনটা বিভিন্ন জায়গায় করলেও লাভ আছে। তাছাড়া আপনারা যদি মনে করেন বিল্ডিং করবেন, কিছু ল্যান্ড কিনে রাখেন, যে না আমরা এটা খুব সস্তা পাচ্ছি, এই জায়গাটা একটু কেউ যদি ডোনেট করে, অনেকে দেয়, অনেকে বলে আমার হিউজ ল্যান্ড আছে, একটা পোর্শন নেন, আমি স্কুলকে দিলাম, ওইখানে কিছু ভেজিটেবল বা কিছু করলে ভালো। দেখেন আপনার প্র্যাকটিক্যাল যেটা, সেটা বেশি কাজ হবে। ঠিক আছে তাহলে? ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। ওকে, বাই, গুড নাইট, গুড নাইট, শুভরাত্রি, গুড নাইট টু এভরিবডি। ওকে, বাই বাই।
গুড নাইট স্যার।
গুড নাইট, গুড নাইট,
গুড নাইট।
कल के लिए आप लोग को टाइम टेबल तो मतलब कितना बजे? 11 बजे। कल तो 11 बजे स्टार्ट हो जाएगा। आप लोग को टाइम टेबल ऑलरेडी दे चुका है हम लोग ग्रुप में। प्लीज आप लोग ग्रुप फॉलो करिए। और एवोल्यूशन पार्ट भी हम लोग दे चुका है। टोटल 5 लिंक गया है ना, टोटल 5 लिंक गया है। 4 फीडबैक फॉर्म, 1 एवोल्यूशन शीट आप लोग सबमिट कर दीजिए।
হ্যালো
স্যার, কটার মধ্যে সাবমিট করতে হবে?
হ্যালো,
9টার মধ্যে করুন। 9টার মধ্যে আমরা বের হয়ে যাব তো অফিস থেকে, তার আগে করুন।
স্যার, একটু লেটে করলে হবে না? 9:30টায়?
স্যার লিভ নিয়ে নেব?
হ্যাঁ